Hello, Aluxers. Ernest Hemingway famously said, "The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them." Before we start, this isn't a hack list. You can't hack your way into trust. Trust isn't a matter of inputting the right actions and getting out a result. Trust is a feeling, and it's hard to fake being a genuine, reliable, and honest person. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Think of all the times you've met someone new and walked away with a good impression. Look back on the encounter and think of what made you feel that way. And if thanks to COVID lockdown you can't remember the last time you met someone new, then here's a list to remind you of some of the basics and how to get people to trust you. And if you've already messed up here, we've got a solution for you. Let's get started. Number 1. Find mutual friends or connections you have in common. It's not just a coincidence you feel comfortable accepting a friend request on Facebook when you see that person has friends in common with you. Nope, it's actually science. The term for this is triadic closure, and it's a phenomenon that explains that two people are more likely to become close if they have a third person in common. A study done using Facebook as a backdrop showed that if people had 11 or more friends in common, they would accept the request 80% of the time. Number 2. Greet warmly. You can't humbug your way into people's hearts, so be sure your greeting is warm and inviting. Nothing is more infectious than a smile. Okay, well, maybe COVID-19 might be, so keep your face masks on and smile with your eyes for now. Try to use people's names when you greet them, and even if you're calling them, smile when you talk to them. You can actually hear it in someone's voice, and it makes all the difference. I'm smiling right now. Can you hear it? Number 3. Mirroring body language. This might sound kinda creepy, and we aren't talking about joining a mime school here, but it's proven that subtly mirroring someone's body language can lead to increased trust feelings in the other person. Again, we can't stress enough that this is meant to be used subtly, like adopting a body posture. If they sit resting their arms on the table, take a similar pose. If they use eye contact in a specific way, try to emulate that. You'll start to see the person opening up and begin to naturally trust you. Number 4. Talk slowly. Being a fast talker might be great if you're an auctioneer, but for the rest of us, it makes you seem a tad sketchy. It can seem like you're covering your tracks because you're nervous or being dishonest, or full of hot air and just trying to steamroll the conversation. People use a lot more words than they need to get their points across. Instead, talk slowly. This will allow you to choose your words more deliberately, which will make you sound smarter too. Speaking slower also shows calmness and naturally leads to people trusting you more. Number 5. Ask great questions. Everyone is interesting. Even the person you think might be boring will have a backstory or a philosophy or a dream that might surprise you. But the difference between realizing that everyone is interesting and that you're not surrounded by morons is the questions you ask people. Asking someone, "Tell me about what you do," is profoundly different to asking someone, "What do you do?" and the responses will be worlds apart. Great questions encourage people to share and go deeper with their answers, rather than promoting a cagey kind of interaction that yes and no answers create. Truly sharing builds trust, so start building trust by getting to know people and letting them get to know you. Number 6. Building on the last point, be a good listener. Showing disinterest breaks trust. The art of listening will go a long way in helping people to trust you. If we don't feel like we're being listened to, then it's hard to trust someone's response. It's so simple to listen, but so few of us do it properly. Our mind is running through the shopping list, our attention drifts to a nearby conversation, or your thumb starts itching and you check your phone while someone right in front of you is trying to tell you something. Show that you're really listening and taking in what the person says, and you'll build immediate trust. And your feedback or opinion will be far more important. Here are some easy ways to be a good listener. Maintain eye contact. Nod as you follow along with what they're saying. Don't interrupt people in the middle of making their point. And the most valuable of them all, when they're finished talking, don't immediately roll into your own monologue. Perhaps ask a great follow-up question or wait a second before you start your response. This will show that you listened and took a moment to prepare your response. Number 7. Validate yourself, validate them. Validating isn't just for parking tickets. Just like our first point on the list, finding things in common with people will help them trust you. Do a quick LinkedIn search of the person. Perhaps you both enjoy sailing and are part of the same yacht club. This will go miles for validating you as a real human person and not a cold caller by placing you in context and with some kind of common thread. This could work in terms of attending the same college, church, or having kids in the same school. Once you've established yourself, look to validate the other person, show you agree with their opinion, or share a commonly held theory in your field. This also comes from doing some background research, or if you followed the list, from listening and asking good questions. Having someone agree with us automatically breaks down walls between us. On the contrary, disagreeing with someone sees them putting up barriers and makes them even firmer on their point, a scenario that is hard to recover trust from. Validating their opinions and skills can be as easy as saying something like, "I heard you closed a big deal last week. Well done. Tell me about how you did that." Give them some eye contact and don't rush through it, and you've just about nailed this list so far. Number 8. Show you're part of a team and participate and share openly. If you want to succeed in the workplace, you'll need to master teamwork. One of the first skills to show you're part of a team is being an open person. And sure, we know the old saying, familiarity breeds contempt, but there's also no I in team, so you'll need to find a balance and jump into some casual conversations from time to time. Sharing your own dreams, weaknesses, insecurities, and ambitions helps people to see you as human. They'll be more likely to trust you in sharing their own challenges that might be holding them back. And in doing so, you can help them. In the end, this will mean better results all around for everyone in the team. People who are part of the team are also more likely to be considered for a role when a team for a new project is being put together or selected for a leadership position. A customer is more likely to buy your product if you seem to understand their situation and show empathy to their challenges. You'll see the best results come from a comfortable, collaborative environment where trust is built. Number 9. Be helpful and kind. Being kind and helpful has a knock-on effect. Not only is it a great display of humanity, but it also paints you in a great light. People who are kind are displaying they are generous and empathetic, but also they acknowledge that they have enough, are grateful and not self-centered. All of these are really trustworthy traits and speak of your internal and external wealth. Someone who is helpful shows they are not only considerate of others and value them, but they have spare time, are skilled and dependable. Again, these are all traits to be trusted. Be sure you display you can be trusted in these indirect but undeniable ways too. Number 10. When you want others to trust you, trust them first. Like Hemingway said at the start of the video, the fastest way to know if you can trust someone is to just take the plunge and put them to the test. For the most part, humans will surprise you. Now, we don't mean throwing the keys to your new car to a total stranger, but rather showing those around you that you trust them. The result is often that they will trust you back. This is often seen when you share personal information with someone. It builds a bond that makes them more comfortable to share with you. This also ties up to the previous point of being helpful and kind. Loan someone some money when they forget their wallet. Do a kind deed with no expectation of them returning the favor, or go with their idea even though you might not fully agree. All of this will build a bridge with someone when you take the first step and trust them. Number 11. Be okay with a little embarrassment. Studies have suggested that showing a little embarrassment is a real trust earner. So next time you get a perfect test score or sign a big deal, rather react with a bit of embarrassment than a big display of pride. Embarrassment is a trait shown by people who are sociable, which makes sense because it shows you're self-aware of the feelings of others and are pleased but sometimes surprised by your success. This gracious reaction will instantly be more acceptable and allow people to relax around you. Others are much more likely to trust you and want to associate with you, so embrace embarrassment, work hard, and stay humble. Number 12. Have a positive impact on the world around you. No one likes a Debbie Downer, let alone trust her. She can give anything in the world a negative spin. People who have a pattern of turning everything into a problem or a complaint can't be trusted because they display a skewed sense of reality. Rather, be a problem solver, make suggestions, throw ideas around, and move things forward. This is the kind of person others want to be on a team with because you can trust them to turn any situation around, or at least die trying. If you establish your reputation as a positive person, you will be trusted. And if crisis turns you into a monster, check out our video, 15 Ways to Handle Stress in a Crisis. Number 13. Be sincere and authentic. We started this video by saying you can't hack your way to trust. This isn't aimed at people wanting a hack to cooking authentic Italian. You can't just add extra garlic and pesto and people trust you. Don't try and force people to trust you. Rather, show genuine interest in their lives, thoughts, and ideas. Show authentic concern for them and try to meet their needs humbly, not as a way to show off how trustworthy you really are. It might be a long game, but it will be worth it because winning people's trust is a genuine prize. Number 14. Be patient and consistent. Stephen Covey is the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and a big campaigner for the importance of trust building. According to him, trust is the glue of life. It's the most essential ingredient in effective communication. It's the foundational principle that holds all relationships. Something so important in our lives deserves our time to build. Nothing beats consistently doing the right thing time and time again. Don't choose to pledge to go green one day and then trash recycling efforts the next. Keep your word and be constant in showing that you can be trusted. If you build trust slowly, these will be relationships that will be strong for life and you'll reap the benefits. Number 15. Obey rules. Nothing paints you as untrustworthy as breaking the rules. Why would you trust someone to invest your money for you if they break the law or disregard company policies? Why would you go on a road trip with someone who breaks every rule of the road? On top of laws and rules, there are also social norms. These are often changing goalposts you need to stay up to date with if you want to excel in life. An example of those could be the use of blackface for dress-up. At one point in time, in a certain social circle and context, it might have been considered humorous to dress up like this. But now it is not socially acceptable in any context ever. Missing the boat on this type of norm can cost you friendships, your reputation, and even your job, let alone everyone's trust because you're so out of touch. Following rules also makes you more predictable. Your friends, colleagues, or partner won't have to guess which rules you will or won't be following that day. If you're rule following, you're easier to trust. It also gives insight into how you think and displays your integrity. And while people might not agree with every rule in the book, they cannot deny the positives of integrity. And with that, Aluxers, here we are at the end. What do you believe is something we can do to build trust? We'd love to hear your thoughts, Aluxers. Let us know in the comments. And for sticking with us until the end, here's your bonus. Perhaps you haven't quite made the trust cut yet, or you found this list because you really messed up and need some advice. Don't worry, there is hope. So you messed up. Apologize. Don't brush it under the rug. Fess up and show that you see the error of your ways. It's easy to make excuses when you break someone's trust, but this does nothing to help your case. It's far better to show that you identify where you went wrong. People are more likely to trust that you won't do it again if they feel you acknowledge the issue and apologize. Forget OneRepublic's advice. It's not too late to apologize. It's not too late. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question on our website, Alux.com. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.